Philippines Extremes. So, this is episode number 4, I think. And this week, I'll just tell you what I did this week, which wasn't much. Had a little catastrophe with my bank. Went to the doctor for the lady and got to meet a subscriber. I think this is the 5th or 6th subscriber that I was able to meet that I talked to before they actually came to the Philippines. So pretty cool interaction. Really nice guy. Was treated to dinner, which is always great, and had a really good time and fellowship, and felt very fortunate to have met him. So that's what I did. Actually, today, this evening, we met late afternoon, early evening, and had a good time. Had a little issue with the taxi driver. A lot of times it's smooth sailing, but then you get the one that thinks that you're like a newbie or whatever. And I knew he was going the wrong way, and I told him, you're going the wrong way, bro. And he's like, no, shortcut. But it wasn't a shortcut, and he actually ended up taking me to the wrong location. I was going to Gasano, and I told him the Gasano that I was going to, but he took me to a different Gasano, and so it could have been an innocent mistake, lost in translation, but it was definitely the wrong place. So, but we worked it out. I ended up getting to. There goes the cat. It's so funny when you get active, your animals get active too. But anyways, so it all worked out in the end. So it was great. I had a good time. So, hopefully everybody had a good week out there in America or Sweden or wherever you're at, Philippines. My week was pretty darn good. Can't complain about it, even though I had a few hiccups. But I got it all solved and ended on a good note by meeting my subscriber. So that was fun, and always like to do that. I've met quite a few, like I said, 5 or 6, and it's always a good experience thus far, meeting people and being able to talk to them, and because I can get kind of a sense of what they think, face to face. So I enjoyed it, and I always enjoy it. So if you are following me or watching my channel, I'm not one of those people that will blow you off. I'm always willing to meet people, and that's what I'm here for. I like to give advice and to help people out. And if they're coming to the Philippines, hopefully I can be a good, useful benefit to them in some way. Not that I'm extremely knowledgeable, but and too, when they arrive here, maybe it'll help them transition into it too. I don't know. I really don't know, but it's just good to see a friendly face, probably on both ends, their end and on my end. So, and we always get to have good food and experience the Philippines, and it's cool because they're fresh to the Philippines, and so they're usually pretty excited, and noticing the palatable differences of where they're from and to how things are here too. So that's always interesting to see and experience through them. So I like it. So hopefully everybody out there had a good week and staying safe out there and having a good time. Martin, maayong gabi ipod. Okay lang. Just no complaints really. It's been great. How about you? Is it still freezing cold there? Hopefully you are not too terribly miserable in all that weather transition as it's moving towards the winter time. But good to see you. Thanks for stopping by as usual. You're always devoted and showing up here, and I really appreciate that. That's good. So, yeah. I didn't know you were so astute with language there, Mr. Martin. -6. Brrr. So cold, bro. So cold. Yeah, you need to get out of there and come to the Philippines and warm up. That way your feet will never be cold. Man, my eyes are red. I had a late night last night, and then I only got a few hours before I went and met my subscriber. I don't know if he wants me to say, who he is or anything. I didn't ask for his permission, but yeah. So I had to take care of some junk with my bank, in the States, and they're obviously there's a huge time difference, so I had to stay up pretty much all night just to take care of everything. And then I crashed out and I didn't wake up till like noon and went and met him. I think he thought I was going to blow him off because I was, so late. But it all worked out. So you're trying to learn Bisaya. That's good. It's always hard learning a new language. Like here I am, and I can't learn it fast enough. And it's difficult. They speak so fast too, and when you try to like replicate it, if you just make one different sound, they don't really understand what you're saying. Yeah, Martin. Yeah, they're always really good about that. They've in the last 10 years they've gotten, if they recognize a unfamiliar charge, they usually are pretty on top of it. So that's what happened. But I don't use that card very much, so I don't know how somebody got the number. But yeah, I'm glad that they shut it down and saved me the headache of having to have things reversed or whatever. Even though I have a really small bank, they still, are pretty standard with it, with those kind of things. So they got it taken care of, and so now I just have to wait for the new card, and I have no idea how long that's going to take. It could take, who knows? Maybe it'd take, a few weeks. So we'll see. But I feel, I try not to worry about things. So I think it'll work out. So have a positive attitude and don't waste your worry on the small stuff. Postal service reliable, I have very limited experience with it. 10 years ago, I sent a few things via USPS, United States Postal Service, and they reached the Philippines, but it took a while. If memory serves, it was, I sent one of those flat rate boxes, and it took like 3 to 4 weeks. And then when I was in the States, I had people mail me, like somebody sent me a letter, and it took about 2 weeks. So I don't know if they've gotten any better since then, but so going off of that, it should be just maybe a couple weeks, but I really don't know. So I definitely, I will know now, that's for sure. I'll experience it. And look, I got my dog. ate my hat, man. Look at the back of this. I'm so mad. It's funny because on a live stream a couple weeks ago, somebody was asking me and saying, complimenting me on my hat, but my dog munched it. So now I only have 2 hats, or 1 hat. I mean, it's a little. She's not a puppy so much anymore, but still not a year old, so still does bad stuff. Oh, you sent a package here. Oh, so it went to Dumageddon in 2 weeks. That's encouraging. So hopefully, 2 weeks. That's what I was thinking, anyways. And my bank manager's awesome. She's gonna have the card company send the card to her so that she can make sure that the address is proper and there's enough postage on it to send it here. So she's going the extra mile. I owe her like a couple of coffees or something at least. Send her a Starbucks card or, well, some other brand like Seattle's Best or something. I don't know. I don't like Starbucks, but whatever. So yeah, we'll see about it. I'm not sure, but so when I met my subscriber, oh, just a sec. When I met my subscriber, he brought me a gift. It's a little practice drone. No camera on it, but I can practice with this so that when I upgrade to an actual real drone, I'll already know how to like fly it without crashing it. Because you get some several $100 piece of gear, and then you just try to learn on it, you'll end up ruining it. So this was good of him. He knew that I was, thinking about getting a drone, so he brought me something to practice with. So it was really nice, and he took me out to dinner. So good on him. That was fantastic. I appreciated it. You want a balut? Send her a balut as thanks. That probably would not go over too well. Should give her a balut. She'd be like puking or something. Which they're not that bad. I wouldn't eat it, but on the reg. But at least I can say I tasted one, and I wouldn't go there again. But it seems more disgusting than it actually is. Pretty funky, but not as funky as I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of like stinky, rotten egg taste, but it just really tasted like a hard-boiled egg with weird consistency. That's the best I can describe it. It just tasted like an egg. It was warm, but like weird textures. So that was my balut experience. So yes sure. So hopefully we get some people in here that want to have a good discussion and no trolls or whatever. But it's all good. Let's see, Bruce Davis says hard-boiled eggs with chicken hair. Yeah, exactly. It's like a hard-boiled egg with like funkiness in it. But pretty much it's just a rite of passage for me. I wouldn't eat it like for sustenance or anything. I just ate it to be able to say I did it, because I've been coming to the Philippines for so many years and being around Filipinos and never had one. That's what, so many people would ask, you ever had a balut? Nope. Well, I just wanted to try it. So I tried it. Scratch it off the list. Bruce asks, I'm doing good, man. How about you? Hopefully everything's going well wherever you are. And I'm just enjoying, Cebu. Well, I don't live in Cebu City, but I'm just enjoying, living here as opposed to the United States, which is where you're from. It says, nice. Yeah, I lived in Oregon and worked in Washington State. So I was from the Northwest. So, which I love that area, but man, it's sure gotten bad with all the crime and whatnot. You're in Oregon? No way. Really? That's crazy. Small world. I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. I went to Grant High School. I didn't graduate, but I went there. Tried to, anyways. I was kind of a wild child. Not so wild anymore. I'm pretty boring, but back then I I thought it was cool to try to be crazy and do crazy stuff. And I did. You're in Portland? No way. Man, that's crazy. My son lives in Portland. I used to own a house in Milwaukee. And I worked in Portland, right on Hawthorne for several years. Yeah, Oregon has some good attributes, especially if you're an outdoorsy type of person, like I was, I am. But of course, Portland doesn't have a lot of it. Although we had boats, so we could just go to like Jansen Beach and launch our boat right there, or to Dittler's or somewhere, and just go water skiing, go fishing on the Columbia or the Willamette. But if you want to do other things, it's all around. You got Mount Hood, you got, if you're into hunting, you can go hunting, and Eastern Oregon is good, stuff like that. And then the beach is just a couple hours away. So you got everything in Oregon. Lots of it. But it's nice also too, because I like to go mining, and although they've changed the laws on mining there in Oregon, you can still always take your pan and shovel and go dig around and try to find some gold. So lot of outdoorsy stuff. Which I miss it, but it's a good trade-off being here. You're saving up to go to the Philippines by spring? Nice. Were you born there in Oregon, or are you a transplant from somewhere else? No, I hope. Hey, Saturn's here. Nice to see you. Even if it's just for a short time, doesn't matter to me. Just glad you came on. You're born in Nevada? Oh, right on. Nevada's cool too. A lot of good mining there. I used to go to Reno quite a bit when I was younger, which, not the greatest place, kind of, but I did go there, Yeah, lots of mining for sure. And it's fun. I mean, even if you don't, when you go out to the woods and you don't do a lot of mining, you're still in the woods and you get to experience all that stuff, Being out in nature is always fantastic. So you're saving up to come to the Philippines. That's exciting. Have you been to the Philippines before? Coming to the Philippines, if you haven't been here before, or even if you have, it always recharges your batteries and makes sorry, I'm reading. Okay, check this out. I was gonna make a revision or an updated video. So Oh, you've been here before. Fantastic. What area do you go to? Do you go up near Manila or down in the Visayas? So on the 6 month visa, okay, I had an email sent to me and a comment on the video from two different people. One guy on the comment and one guy on the video and one guy on the email. They were different, saying that they did get a 6 month. Okay, so the day after I made the video, I went to immigration, and I was gonna talk to. Oh, I forgot to talk to my subscriber about that, but I went and I asked the immigration officer straight up. I said, "What's going on with the 6 month extension?" Because I'm getting conflicting information, and he told me, and this was his friend, his coworker, I mean, came out. So two officers were standing there, and I've dealt with them before, so they were pretty forthcoming. And they said there is no more 6 month extensions unless you are married to a Filipina. They will extend your 6 months if you have a marriage license. So if you're married, you can still get the 6 months. But if you're not, and you're just a regular tourist, you cannot. Paul said, "¿Cómo está?" Okay, Long. Good to see ya. Where did it go? Good to see ya. I was just talking about my super subscriber that gave me a practice drone. So Bruce said, "Just Manila. I want to go check out other places." Yeah, man, you got to get out and branch out. There's so many great places to the Philippines. There's some cool. I mean, Philippines is the Philippines, so it's always refreshing to even go to Manila. But being in Manila doesn't necessarily give you the true sense of what the Philippines is like. And down in the Visayas is amazing. Cebu is pretty cool because it's a good jump off point. You know, you're not too far from Dumaguete. You're not too far from Leyte. Lots of different areas. It's just there's a ferry that goes to pretty much anywhere you want to go. You can go on a ferry to Mindanao. You can go on a ferry to Dumaguete. So Cebu is kind of a good central hub, a jump off point. So if you bring some donuts, you can get that 6 months. Yeah. Well, I do know, and this is one thing that I whenever I do videos, I'm pretty long-winded, so I always say like a lot of things, but then I try to trim off the fat. And one of the things that I trimmed off is immigration can be different depending on what office you go to and even what officer you're dealing with. Sometimes they're not updated on things, and if they're not informed that there's been a change, they will still issue you something that other places wouldn't. So, and that has been a thing with the Philippines for forever. So, and that can happen anywhere, but for sure that does happen. And it's not that I forgot to mention that. I did mention it. Hi, Kitty. But I didn't want the video to be too long, so I ended up editing some of that stuff out. So that's my disclaimer on it. For sure. But yeah, I mean, I personally don't like Manila, just because it's so crowded and the traffic is just kind of a nightmare. But I mean, like today, I was going to meet my subscriber, and Kitty, sorry, Oh my goodness. My cat's going crazy. That's the danger of having a kitten. Let me turn on this. So that way it'll drown out her noise. So yeah, say exactly. Opening up a bank account. Like I went to a branch and they said, no, you cannot open a branch. Or sorry, you can't. Kitty. They said you can't open a bank account. And then I went another day to a different branch of them, the same brand, and they allowed us to. So it just depends. It's like a case by case kind of thing. So you could hear that. Sorry. Hopefully, being on the mic will drown out her chaos or his chaos, because it's a male. I gotta remember that. It's a male, not a female. Yeah, it's like when I start doing something, the cat just decides, okay, time to go nuts. So yeah, but that's the true deal. Officially, the Philippines has done away with 6-month extensions for the average tourist. But if you are so fortunate to get a different immigration officer, for example, you may still get it, but you can, according to the two gentlemen that I spoke to, you can still get the 6-month if you're married, but only if you're married, they said. So I wasn't wrong. I just didn't know about the marriage aspect of it. I don't know why they got rid of it. Maybe it's to encourage, the other visas, which makes sense. I mean, a lot of people, why even bother getting the 13A if they can just extend and extend and extend, And in the whole scheme of things, for the visa prices here compared to a lot of other places, it's pretty affordable. So if they're making a little bit more money off of it, it makes sense to me, because other places it would be significantly more. So, but for me, I'm going to shoot for the 13A, because it comes with benefits. Like, if you so choose, you can get a work permit from that. It's a permanent residence visa. If you're married, it's the marriage visa. So, but in the meantime, as soon as I get all the documents for Lily, we're going to fly out of the country and then enter in together and do the Balak Bayan, because that is completely free for a year. Okay. Kitty. Stop. So it sounds like Saturn had a good voice or a video chat. After 5 minutes, she said her sister was calling. Oh, I wouldn't sweat it too much, man. Have you spoken to her since? Well, you can. Sorry. You can stay up to 3 years, but the change on the visa is just the frequency in which you need to go to the Bureau of Immigration. So you can still stay up to 3 years, but before you would come in, and before it was 30 days. Oh my goodness! Can you help me out with this cat? Before, when you came into the country, it used to be 29 days, 30 days, and then you had to re-up. But they changed it to now you get 59 days when you come in, and then you can re-up for
60 days. So the frequency increase. I don't know if I said all that right. I got a little distracted from my crazy cat, but yeah, no, you can stay up to 3 years. So, well, Saturn, if you don't talk to her in the meantime, probably that won't be a good idea, in my opinion. You know, I don't know how long it'll be in between talking to her and when you actually come. But I would definitely try to talk to her more, because there can be a lot of things that can end up getting you in trouble. I mean, what if she's married? If she's married, you could end up in some kind of crazy scam, which you don't want to end up in. So, you know, not saying that she is, but you should verify as much of those things, scratch those red flags off the list, as many as you can. Yeah, exactly, Martin. I agree. If it doesn't work out, of course, in the long run, it's probably for the best. But even though she's your dream girl, you know, you want to explore that, of course, and see if it's viable. But definitely try to talk to her more in between now and your trip. And Bruce said that helps out. Yeah, you're welcome, man. It's simple. The immigration is not as daunting as so many people think it is. The people are usually pretty friendly. If you have a friendly attitude, you're going to receive that back typically. So just be upbeat, just be positive. And even though, you know, you might be hot, sweaty, in a bad mood or whatever, just fake it till you make it. And it'll amplify your positive results. So you're not a fan of long distance, but yeah, I mean, I understand, you know, coming in blind for some people isn't always so great, you know. Some people want to have something a little bit set up, you know, when they come. So that's understandable. I agree with everybody's. There's pros and cons about everything. Just coming here and meeting someone, I understand that philosophy. I understand, you know, using a dating service in some cases. I also understand trying to do it on your own in other cases too. It's a case-by-case basis. No, but there's pros and cons about all of them, for sure. So, yeah, man, just try to talk to her a little bit more, and make sure, you know, everything's legit. I'm not trying to, you know, deter you or anything. Definitely not. If she's, you know, somebody who you really clicked with, then fantastic. So just confirm it. Confirm that it's a real connection, for sure. But I mean, you know, that's great. Hopefully, you know, it works out. I'd be happy to hear about it. You know, if any of you guys, when you come here and you want to meet, I'd love to meet you. And if you're down to do an interview, I would love to do more interviews. Sometimes it's hard to get people to go on camera. I'd love to do more interviews, but I can't seem to get people to bite. Well, I mean, impression, it's different, bro. It's different. You don't need to have as much game because there's a lot lost in translation. And if it was, you know, somebody from your own country and you had awkward moments where you were like being shy or whatever, that would translate over into lack of confidence and so many other things. But here, you know, you're speaking your native language and she's speaking a foreign one, and the social cues are completely different. So when you when you talk to them, just realize that you're already going into it on a positive note. You know, they're happy to be talking to, you know, someone from another country, and they don't know if you're dorky or if you're awkward. I mean, unless you're like really, really like, or, you know, being pervy or something, they're not necessarily going to notice any of that stuff. So don't overthink it, bro. Seriously. I mean, typically, you're already a shining star because of who you are. And that's not being arrogant. That's just true. And I'm not, you know, trying to stereotype or anything like that, but for sure, you have a leg up just from, you know, not being from here in essence. I know that sounds kind of callous, but it's really true. So don't overthink it, man. Just have confidence in that, and don't worry about any kind of awkward kind of pauses or anything. I doubt you made a bad impression unless you were really, really awkward or something, like super awkward. And then again, too, there are the ones that are really westernized. So then they would notice those kind of things. But if it's just, you know, the majority of people from here wouldn't pick up on that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, coming here will be a huge confidence boost for sure. It always is. All of your fears and all of your misgivings and all of your confidence issues tend to erode because people are just so friendly. I mean, we're all so closed off from others in our homelands that a lot of us become wallflowers. And here, you know, everybody's smiling at you and everybody is very happy to engage with you, and it's uplifting. So you're 100% right. It will change. It definitely will change you. That's what I've been always saying in my videos. Coming here will change you for the better if you let it. Absolutely. It's just the dynamic of being a foreigner in a place where they appreciate foreigners in a huge way. So I recommend it. That's and I haven't been lying about those things, man. I mean, I'm a firm believer in all that stuff. That's right. Shining star, be who you are. Undoubtedly. And people will gravitate towards you. And that can be a foreign kind of feeling, but just embrace it. Embrace it, and everything will just completely change for you. Everything will get so much better. Confidence booster, happiness, health, everything will improve. Just don't eat too much Jollibee. Do a little change up here. Oh, that's kind of precarious. Oh, that's not going to work. We got somebody named World Rahabar coming in. Hello, he says. Hi there, World. How's it going? Hopefully well. Now, see, this is where I feel awkward with these awkward pauses. And so I know what you mean, even though I'm not chatting to some hot Filipina. I'm chatting to a bunch of Westerners, and I feel awkward. But, oh well. I'm just here for, you guys to offer advice and hopefully to ease your transition to the Philippines if I can. Is a move out of Cordova still in the works? Oh, long term, yeah. I'm not going to live here forever, that's for sure. But not for a while. We're talking, at least a year, if not more. I do like it here, but not long term. I'm not going to settle here permanently. Once I permanently settle, it'll probably be in Masbate or somewhere similar to that has the things that Masbate has that I need. That I need to have. Because I am a nature kind of person, so I want to be able to dig in the dirt, plant things, grow things, and fruits, vegetables. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to grow fruit. But I've been growing vegetables for many, many years in the States, so I'm looking forward to all that stuff. But unfortunately, that's far off in the future. Not far off, but year or more. Good advice, Martin. Good advice. I'm going to disconnect this microphone now that the cat's calmed down.
There we go. Just don't like holding the thing, Yeah, you should chat more frequently. I agree, Paul. You should definitely chat more frequently. Oh yeah, well if she was on a bus, I mean, that's kind of difficult. Some of the buses do have Wi-Fi, but it's limited, and everybody on the bus is tapped into it, so it's definitely going to lag. You don't need to talk to her necessarily every day if that's not your speed, but do definitely explore it a little bit more. Ideally, you should talk every day, like Paul said, but if you can't, make sure that you talk enough to where any kind of red flags have been erased, like I said before. You don't want to get involved in some things that could turn around and bite you in the butt. And there are those things. She could have a boyfriend. She could be married. She could have kids she's hiding. There's so many different things, So just make sure you... No, sir. You, sir, with Lily. What? Well, we chat every day, but we live with each other. But when I was in the States, yeah, we talked every day. I even talked to her at work, too. And in my building, once I have my retail spot, I talk to her, too. As much as you can with the time difference and whatnot. And there sometimes I would talk to her, where I only had 2 or some odd hours of sleep. So yeah, we exhausted the video chat server for sure. bring a can of, what is that? Surströmming? You and your wife can try. What is and I know I'm butchering this word. Surströmming. But sure, I'd love to try it. I'm adventurous. I mean, heck, I ate a balut. So I'll eat some surströmming. The best way to find the truth, man, if somebody's going to go to great lengths to hide things from you, they can usually hide things from you, and sometimes even the family would be involved, which sucks. But I just mean, like, just do your due diligence, do your best, and that's why you should probably talk to them more than less, so you can get a sense of whether or not she is withholding things. And even then, it's difficult. That's why there's a risk with the LDRs. That's what there's pros and cons of everything. There's pros in coming here and meeting face to face and never having any interactions online. And then there's pros and cons, dating sites and everything. Everything has positives and negatives. But the more you talk to her, at least you can arm yourself with things to reference once you're here. Because if they're deceiving you, unless they're really, really good at it, and I have met ones that are absolutely fantastic at deception. I mean, I made a video about my past, and I was completely railroaded and deceived and had the wool pulled over my eyes. And I thought that I did everything that I could to vet all those things, and I was wrong. But not everybody's a mastermind like that. So, just talk to them more, and recommended increasing tests, ODMF, honesty and responsibility. ODMF. That's an acronym that ODMF. I don't know what that means either. Sorry, I'm getting sleepy. Oh, increasing tests of honesty and responsibility. Yeah, I mean, you got to vet things as best as you can, and it's always not going to be 100% foolproof. But do your best to try. But meeting her family, you asked, Saturn, that can help. But then again, too, you're pretty far into it at that point. And sometimes just the frequency of chat, lies can come out in those. You'll catch them in conflicting information. The kid will run by in the background, things like that, If you just meet somebody and go, oh, that's the one, and then you show up and that's the only chat you had, that can be risky, I suppose. But, always dip your toes in the water anyways. If you're not going to chat with the person very much and you come here, then you should be approaching the whole thing at that point gingerly and slowly, because you really don't know the person at all. If you chat to them, then you establish a little bit more of a rapport and a relationship. But just be careful. Don't move too fast. Go, take your time. Don't get overwhelmed with the youth and the beauty and the cuteness and all the things that can distract you from any kind of deceptions. But I'm homo again. Oh no. I used to be a homo. I still am, but I used to be one too. Good old auto text. Hopefully that joke didn't fly over her head. Why would it change it to I'm homo? That's funny. Kissing her brother is a red flag, right? You know, her brother in quotes. Yeah, that's a thing too. You know, the spouse can even be in on it. And of course, these kind of scams are more rare, but they do happen enough that we've all heard the tales. So you gotta vet them from these things as best as you can. As best as you can. You know, and if your intention is to move here permanently, then all of those things would definitely be revealed after time. But yeah, kissing her brother is a pretty big red flag. What's up, Elvis? Good to see you, man. Hopefully the farming is going well. Do you listen to Willie Nelson and crap when you're trucking around over there? To all the girls I'd loved before. Some Merle Haggard going on and some Glenn Campbell. Elvis is alive. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, we found Elvis, man. He never, he didn't kick the bucket on the bucket. Working today. You work like a dog. But it's worth it, man. You get out of the matrix. He lives upstairs in Graceland. Do you know what Starlink costs in the PH? I should know because somebody was talking about that in my Facebook group. I want to say it's $89 for some people, but I could be wrong. But I do think that is less than 100. Mabuhay, Jared. What did you miss so far? Oh man, you missed so much. Like, this was the most informative live stream that has appeared on YouTube in decades. No, you didn't miss anything, man. We're just doing what we always do. Riffing, talking back and forth. So not much. Good to see you, man. We've been at it for almost an hour. So far, so good. No weird comments yet. But, you know, seems like the longer this goes, gives them more time to find us. But yeah, I mean, if you guys come here and you do pass through Cebu, consider meeting me and hanging out. Because I've done that now with 5 different people or so, and it's always a fun time for me. I enjoy it. Getting out and about. It's cool. And the guy I met today was amazing, really nice guy, and so I appreciated that. He's my buddy now. We're true friends, so that's cool. And I met another man on here that's on here right now, He's always really cool. I consider him a friend too. So, it's cool. I never thought that I would come on YouTube and actually make real life connections. That has happened now with multiple people. Four out of the 5 people, I've met 6. Yeah. But they're all decent people. So it's been enjoyable. Now I got some Willie Nelson stuck in my head. And I discovered squid. That is a best kept secret, my brother. But no. Yeah, at least the way they made it fantastic. But I don't know if I think I told you that they doubled the price on it, which is still affordable, but my goodness. And it was funny too. I think I said this last week though also. They have a medium size and a large size of that same squid dish. And they said I ordered the large, and they're like, well, we're out of the large. I said, so you have medium? And they're like, oh yes, many. And I said, well, can't you just add some to the medium to make it a large? No. I said, well, what if I wanted, 10 mediums? Do you have, if you have 10 mediums, I could order that? Oh yeah, no problem. I'm like, so why can't you just make a large out of it? No. It's weighed by the gram, she told me. Oh, weighed by the gram. Okay, whatever. I just laughed. I tried like 3 times. I'm like, just add some to it. And she even went back and asked the cook. And the cook was confused, so I just gave up on it and I ordered the medium. How do I cook the squid? Not very well. I tried, man. I didn't know you had to clean the darn things. I was starting to cook them, and I discovered there's all kinds of guts and poop and all kinds of things in them, especially the big, huge ones. So I gave up on it, and Lily ended up cooking it the next day. No, I mean, it's not really good compensation to really put in the extra effort for some people, but I got to give it to most of them. I don't know, like I try to be pretty friendly to people, and it seems like the more friendly you are, the you get the best out of people, unless they're having like a terrible day, but that's universal. So but yeah, or if you get like a weird taxi driver and he's just trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I've had, in general, pretty good luck with taxis, but today I kind of had a weird one. And I'm not sure if he was just ignorant or if he was trying to get a few extra peso. He ended up actually making less. If he would have went where I wanted him to go, he would have made more. So in that sense, which is crazy too, because if you think about it, and they don't really think about this, like a seller will try to upcharge a foreigner. Let's say the fish is 200 to Filipino, but they want 250 from the foreigner. Now, if they wanted a regular customer, especially a foreigner, they would charge the real price, and that way the foreigner would keep coming back. But they don't forecast out that much on those kind of things. Like I was going to a sorry store when I first came here, and literally the second time I went there, I bought the same thing, and it had went up by like 20 pesos, and I'm like, well, last time it was whatever it was. Last time it was 30. And he said, no, it's 50 now. So I go, okay, whatever. And I paid it. And then the next time I just went to a different sorry store, bought the same thing, and it was 30. So I stopped going to that person because, they're not being honest. Sure, it's not that much, but I don't like that kind of deception kind of stuff. So, and that'll happen, and it's really shooting yourself in the foot if you think about it. The long nose discount, the long nose upcharge, yeah, or the skin tax. Long nose or skin tax, either one works. But yeah. And you guys were talking about inflation a couple weeks ago, and whether I noticed it or felt it. Rice has went up. Like even the last time I said that I noticed that the rice went up, it went up again. When I first got here, for example, I buy Ganador. It was 58 a kilo. Then 2 weeks ago, it was 60 a kilo. Just yesterday, I went to buy 5 kilos, and they wanted 64 per kilo. So it's went up 6 pesos per kilo, in that short amount of time, which, we can afford it, but my goodness, the locals, that's quite a bit of money. I mean, 64 kilos or 64 for a kilo, and 1 kilo for a big family. Like my taxi driver home tonight, he has 8 kids. 8 kids. Can you imagine, how far 1 kilo would go with eight kids plus he and his wife? A 10-person family? You're looking at, I don't know, 3 kilos? Which is, 180, 192, 192 when you're making 500 a day, if that. That's just for the rice. And a lot of Filipinos have a lot of kids like that, big families. Like my wife, she comes from 10 kids in her family. Is it subsidized? Well, I don't know what the deal is with the rice. The government had it regulated. This is just what I heard. The government had the rice regulated and they were keeping the price down. But now they're not. And they're reporting on the news. I even saw something on YouTube that inflation is hit, and it's because of the COVID aftermath and whatnot. So I'm not really sure, but man, okay. So when I was here 10 years ago, I was paying 46 for a kilo of rice, sometimes 48. So in 10 years, it went from 46 to 64, 20 peso, which is, pretty significant. If you have a huge family and the wages aren't going up, so it's a huge struggle for a lot of people, and not necessarily for us, but for the local people. I just feel for them. I feel for them. One of the taxi drivers I had recently was telling me after he pays his daily fee for the taxi, he only sometimes ends up with like 300, and that's like a 12-hour day. Can you imagine? And he had, I think, 5 kids. Yeah. So you got to appreciate, what you got, where you come from, stuff like that. It might be, it's a blessing to have the ability to make the money. But like I say, make the money and then get out of Dodge. and go somewhere where you can be a benefit to yourself and a benefit to others. And here you have the ability to be a huge benefit to others. If you've been blessed with the efforts that you made while you were, in the States and when you were younger and whatnot. So, what are my thoughts on tipping? Don't do it. In my video on tipping, I said, and I believe this, is I tip. I think it stems mostly from when I was younger. I worked in a restaurant. I was a waiter, and I just learned to tip from that. So that carried forward. When I was no longer a waiter, I would go to restaurants. I was always a good tipper. But here, I tip, and it's controversial for a lot of people. They either won't, especially if you're from the UK or somewhere else where they don't tip at all in their culture. They have a strong opinion against it, but I don't care. It's up to the individual if they want to tip, and I'm not going to sit there and say, anything negative about it. I'm always tipping. Like I was telling somebody today, if I ride a tricycle and the fare is 30, I hand a 50 and I don't care, because I was blessed with the ability to be able to do it. I live in this local area, so I know what the economy is like, and I know what people are having to deal with, and I know how much competition there is to get fares on your trike. I walk down the main road. They call it the Skeena, all right, in Visaya. I learned that word, the Skeena, okay? So in the Skeena is the main road, right? And there is a row of like 50 trikes. And then you go, a couple blocks, let's say, and there is another row of 10. And then down the road, 15 more. And, you've got just this abundance of tricycles, and they're all scrambling to try to get passengers to make enough money to feed their family for the day. Well, sure, I suppose it's easy to get taken advantage of if you're a certain type of person, but I do it from my own common sense, and I do it with everyone. So if I need the service, and they like clamor to get to me as over someone else, like they overstep somebody else, I suppose that's the only way they could be taking advantage of me in that scenario, because everybody gets that. Everybody gets the 50. That's just the way it is. And, you got to have, I'm not really sure how they could take advantage of me from that. Maybe if they try to befriend you or something and then borrow from you or whatever. But I don't loan money. I did to my neighbor. He borrowed 500 from me, 500 peso, and I pretty much knew that he would never give it back, and he didn't. But it was more like of a test. Yeah, some Filipina are real savvy at bargaining, and they know that the price set has wiggle room. And when we come up, like, and the slippers cost let's say $3 US, we're like, score, that's a great deal. But she could probably get them for $2, for example. So, but then, it's just pinching pennies, man. It's like $3, $2. And I agree with you. You make a bad deal, but you're helping somebody out. But I think where the taken advantage of, is they don't realize your mentality on it, that you're doing it to be helpful. They think they're pulling one over on you. Maybe that's what people don't like about it, which, definitely can be a factor. Yeah. So, but I know what is exorbitant, which is way too much, and I have a figure in mind typically, and if it's significantly higher than that, then I know that they're just being jerks, and I just say no thanks. Um, I do have a lot of patience, but sometimes my irritation does come out in some ways sometimes, and that's just something I got to work on. But I'm talking, pretty slim, and they probably don't notice it, but I feel it inside. So I feel like, oh, I need to work on that because I felt irritated. Do you do any fishing? Well, bro, um, when we first got here, I bought a fishing pole and I made a crappy video of us trying to fish, and Lily caught a crab. But where I'm at, there is a channel that leads out to the bay, it leads to the ocean actually. But there's just these little tiny tilapia. So near me, there's not. And then down at the end of Cordoba, near 10K Roses, if you go the opposite direction from there, basically a straight line, you end up in like Bantayan Bay. There's also, you can fish there, but according to everybody that I've talked to that I've seen fishing and looked at their fish, it's the same thing. There's these little dinky fish. So unless you can really throw your line out there to deeper waters, it's going to be tough. But there are charters that you can take and whatnot. But you know me, man, I'm not spending any money to do anything cool. I'm not like the king. I just sit around, and make stupid videos and talk like a fool on live streams and oversleep on them and do all kinds of dumb stuff, man. I ain't about nothing. You know what I'm saying? No, I love to fish. And before you came on, I was talking to a guy from Oregon about the fishing. But I grew up fishing, man. Grew up the Columbia River, the Willamette River. For a spell, I lived in Jansen Beach, and I would just go down and fish and catch sturgeon. It was amazing. Loved it. You went out in a small boat and set out nets, and you didn't bring me any lobster? What's up with you? Come on, man. Now that's cool. Yeah, I would love to do that. Right there by the CC Lex Bridge, that's what they do. They take out their boats and they've got their nets and they're getting it ready to go out to the deeper part in the ocean. Like, I have this dumb video that I made. It's where I'm just talking and I'm filming this dude who is going out on his boat and he's getting ready to go out into the ocean. And that's what I'm referring to. That's where you can fish. Right there, and some guys, they'll catch like 30-40 of those little babies and they'll take them home and eat them or whatever. But I don't have the patience to sit there and catch 8 hours worth of little baby fish. But yeah, there's a fishing industry right here. Your wife eats the bait fish. Well, at least you don't have worms and she's eating those. That would be terrible. But that's funny. No, when I get more established, I want to do all that stuff. I want to do fishing and really take advantage of the diverse seafood. Yeah, I have a Filipino friend that that has I think he calls himself the squid hunter or something like that. But man, he goes and he's spearfishing, just catching an abundance of these huge squids. And maybe I'm getting it confused. There's these squid hunters, they're brothers, and they catch a lot of squid. And then there's another guy who squid hunts with the spearfish. But yeah, they catch a lot of good quality and quantity, like you said, Jared, of fish. I follow this one guy for a while. I don't follow him anymore because he kind of stopped posting. But he was like an expert with the net. He would go out there, he'd throw that net and come back, and he couldn't even pull it in. It was so full of fish, and he'd had, help to pull it in. But it was just his toss that was really, really good, I guess, and he would just catch massive amounts of fish. Heinz Angelus says, hello. Hello, Heinz. Mayangabi'i. Hope you're having a good evening out there, wherever you are. Maybe you live in Angeles, and that's why your screen name is Angelus. It's just logical. They eat they ate the head. I've seen them eat the head when it's cooked, but not raw. Ugh. Man, that's one thing I do not like, and I have not tried. I mean, it's weird to say I don't like it, but the dried fish, I can't get past the smell of it. I took a nibble of it, and it was super salty. I mean, I'm talking like just a little tiny piece. Super duper salty. Kind of like fish jerky or something, which I don't like the sound of that. I haven't made it to anywhere, bro. I can barely make it to Cebu City. What? You're forgetting who you're talking to? I'm boring. I am the most boring Philippines expat that lives here, man. I don't do nothing. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. That's what I said, man. I ain't about nothing. I'm not trying to do anything, man. One day I will. But right now, no. I'm just trying to take care of this pressing issue of pregnancy, get over that hump, and then I'll have to re-up and do things and make a better kind of experience. Disgusting fish feeder. That sounds gross. Yeah, message me on Facebook or email and let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Yeah, the dried fish smell, it like lingers, man. You can smell it from like 3 doors down for hours. And if you don't open your windows and you come into your house the next day, you can still smell a faint smell of it. And your Filipino wife will go, oh, it smells good in here. And you'll go, ooh, what's that? Dried fish, thumbs down. Yeah, not a fan of it. Too salty, too stinky. Oh, yeah, Elisha. Naming it Elisha. I liked, whoa, you forgot to hit the like. Well, you gotta be like Elvis and smash it with your forehead. But thanks, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, but Elisha is gonna be the name. I kind of liked Elijah, but for some reason she likes Elisha better, so we're gonna name it Elisha. And it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, of course, a lot of us have already had kids, and I don't know how hands-on people were, but we make homemade coconut oil, and so every night I take some of that and I rub it on her stomach, for stretch marks, and I'm trying to help her, not have as many stretch marks, and I sing. So I'll be rubbing and singing, and the baby in there just starts rolling around and moving and kicking. It's really, really cool. The second floor, just outside. Yeah. Just the other day, my neighbor downstairs was cooking dried fish, and I could smell it for hours. It lingers. It's a strong smell. Yeah. See, it's dangerous smashing that like button. Um, Elvis gets a little bit over enthusiastic when it comes to that. He kind of smashes things, but hey, at least he's got his forehead. And that's baby stuff. Oh, the surströmming has a strong aroma. Ah, I don't know. That's what inhibits me from eating things is the smell. Like if the balut would have stunk really bad, I couldn't have done it. But it didn't have a bad smell. Like when I cracked it open, I sniffed it. The smell wasn't repugnant to me, so I was able to try it. Elvis did it with the pelvis. Well, hold on now. That's a visual I'd rather not have. Good one. Now we're starting to riff here with the blue suede shoes. Then he does it with the pelvis, but still, that's kind of a visual I don't want to have, here. But still, I like the connection we're having with the pelvis and the blue suedes and whatnot. It's pretty clever. Pretty clever, fellas. Lots of red horse. Red horse. That'll do it for sure. You'll be smashing it with your pelvis and all kinds of things. You'll be trying to invent new ways of smashing it. Yeah, yeah, they did. Elvis married Priscilla when she was 14, which is crazy. Could never get away with that. 8 a.m. Red Horse and karaoke. Now, see, I would say party like a rock star, but that goes without saying because Elvis is kind of a rock star. So that's to be expected, man. Tell us something we don't know. All right? Here, it's just semantics at this point. We know you party like a rock star already, Elvis. It's very well known. Boom, boom, boom. So, yes, sir, yes, sir. We got up to 12 there for a minute. I think that was a new Philippines Extremes record, but maybe I'm wrong. I know it was 10 for a steady 30 seconds. We got 5 likes. It's pretty good. I don't know. Did I tell you guys I made $7 last month on YouTube? I'm gonna get rich. 12,000 RPM. Yeah, I heard about there was a pretty big earthquake. I didn't. I had stuff going on with my bank, so I wasn't really focused on it. But I did hear that there was a big earthquake down in Mindanao. What'd you hear from from your significant other, which I won't say her name, but how is she? Did it affect her? Oh, she came to Cebu, right? But still, she has family there. Hopefully, everybody's safe. So that's the main concern. But I haven't looked into it since I heard about it. In fact, I was busy when I saw the alert on it, and I didn't even click on it or anything. So I don't know much about it. I've been off in bank mode. But that's the thing. I mean, they had huge earthquakes when I was here before, up in Luzon, and it just devastated so many places. Oh yeah, we actually opened a bank for Lily like end of August, early September. It's Lily's though. Yeah. I mean, it's in her name. At the BPO, I think it's called, which came in really handy because when my card got shut off, I had pretty much forgot about it. And Lily's like, "Well, we have money in that bank account," so that came in handy. But then I got it all figured out. So, but it's good to have a fallback, you know. So that's what I put on that video is don't be an idiot like me and have other options. Especially if you're, not rich or doing well. Charles Schwab. What? Yeah. I should. What's that guy that looks like, the evil mastermind? Yes. Undoubtedly, she's my sugar mama. It's funny, the taxi driver was asking me, "What does your wife work?" I'm like, "She doesn't work." What? She needs to have a job. They refund bank fees? Oh, nice. That come in handy. For sure. Probably when I end up re-upping and whatnot, I'm gonna definitely change banks because the bank I have only has 4 branches, and they're not recognized. Like they're not even recognized by Western Union. Like I couldn't do a bank transfer into Western Union from my bank, which is kind of crazy. So if I had Citibank or Charles Schwab or whatever, it would open up a lot of stumbling blocks. My bank is just too small. I don't have plans. I just go with what I gotta do, pretty much. So if I gotta go, I gotta go. But I'm trying to get a job at a call center. I met an Australian in McDo's, and he told me that he came here on a tourist visa, and he had a friend that was doing the call center, and they asked him if he would be interested, and so they changed his visa, and now he's worked at the call center for like 2 years. So he told me where to go to check it out. And so maybe next week, I don't know. I have a limited amount of funds until I get my new card. But maybe next week I'll go to the IT part because that's where his call center is. and I'll start asking around. That's what he told me to do. Just go to all the call centers and just ask. So if I can do that, then no, I won't be going anywhere. The wages, of course, all the wages here are gonna pale in comparison to what we're used to. But as you saw, or if you saw in my budget video, I'm spending so little here that I could make it on $500 a month. I really could, and I wouldn't even be feeling it. But in a call center like that, he's making $50K. So $50K is a little bit under $1,000. So if I could get something like that, then it would be no problem. I was actually shocked. I didn't know that we spent as little as we did. So when I tracked our expenditure or expenses, and came out with $72 and what was it, $72.60 that week, I really had no idea that we were spending that little. And I'm not even kidding you. I don't feel shortchanged doing it. If I had a different lifestyle, obviously if you had a car and you need to be putting gas in all the time and maintenance and whatnot, then your expenses will go up. But I don't, so they're not. And I could live like this forever. I could just continue to do this with the baby. She's got milk, for goodness sake. That's going to be free for 6 months, right? And I don't plan, 6 days a week, which sucks, but I wouldn't have to do it forever. Because this YouTube is going to grow, and I'm going to start making real dough from it, right? But I don't care. If I could do it, I would have fun doing it. I think for a while. I don't know. But it's probably more fun if I just go back and work for 6 months and then come back with a buttload of cash and then not have to work for, another year. That guy is not the manager. Cause I thought maybe he was the manager, but he's like, no, I'm not the manager. But maybe I could move my way up to it or something like that. I don't know. But of course the managers would make more. But the starting wage at some of them are $30K, which would be more rough. But I could still make it on that amount. I wouldn't like to, but I could. And that would be pretty tight. So, on $50K though, I could do it. But I don't anticipate that working out. It's just all up to, the powers that be. If that's, the plan, then that will happen. If it's not, then it won't. I really don't know what's going to happen. But I don't have any plans, man. No plans. I'm just going with the flow. And if the money runs out, I'm splitting. If it doesn't run out, I'm staying. That's the plan. With the goal in mind that eventually I will never have to leave. And I have things in the works to be able to achieve that. But like I said in the beginning of my channel, I would probably be going back and forth until I'm like 57. And then after that, I wouldn't have to do it anymore. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. And same to you. You're included in our prayers. And have been so. We pray for you and several people, that I've met through the YouTube, even the King here, and many others. In general, I pray, for everybody that is involved at the channel, and hope that I can be some sort of benefit to you guys or others, because. There's so many things that I could do on YouTube to grow, that I just don't do. There's avenues that I could traverse down that would obviously get more views, and all the bigger channels do them, but I'm not going to do that. So that's just not who I am or who we are. Because really, this is not just my channel; it is Lily's channel too. So, the tenant, no, not at all. And it's a headache and a nightmare, and it's just getting worse. She paid me $400 this month, and she's behind 3.5 months or something like that, 2.5 months plus. So no, if she catches up, I'll be absolutely fine for a lot longer. But if she doesn't, then I won't be. And I butted heads with her. I try to be patient. I try not to, have any kind of emotion rise up that I feel shouldn't. But we ended up getting into it over the rent, and I don't know. Nothing got better with it. So obviously, moving forward, like for example, if I do go back, I'm getting a property manager. I'm gonna do what I can to get her out of there, and then the property management will just be the people to deal with all that nonsense, and I won't have to. Of course, I'll be bleeding 10% or 20% of the rent payment, plus the insurance. The insurance is $150 a month on that building. It's because it's out in the middle of nowhere and it's in a fire zone. They have wildfires. There's never been a wildfire come through that area, but insurers put it on there. So last year I was paying 120. It went up to 150 this year. So, and the premium went up too. This is monthly. So in 4 more years, I can sell it if I so choose, and I'll probably pocket like $50K. So, but that's 4 more years. So I don't have enough equity in it now, but in 4 years, I'd have enough to, maybe I wouldn't get 50K, maybe like 40, depending on what the realtor gets. It's like 6% or something. But property values increase, so yeah, I was shocked, man. I had a heck of a time getting it insured just because I was running an antique gold, silver, and buying and selling old coins too. So those things, second-hand kind of stores, are harder to get insured these days because of like people selling used strollers and then getting sued, and people selling car seats and things. That's why you're not allowed to sell those things anymore because of the lawsuits. But it according to, I shopped around to every major insurance company that was available to me when I bought the building. And I was just hitting a brick wall. And there's a local guy that was 2 doors down, an insurance salesman in my town, who tried to outsource it for me, and he couldn't do it. And he'd been doing insurance, for 40 years, or yeah, he's like 70. Been doing it his whole career, and he was shocked. He couldn't get it insured. Most of the other buildings had been long-term owned, and they had to re-up their insurance. But when he found out about this firewall and all this crap, he was dumbfounded. Have I thought about a meetup with YouTubers? YouTubers are real cliquish, man. They do their own thing, and they won't necessarily team up with you unless you'll be a benefit to them. And I'm not a benefit to anybody, so it's I have tried. I have tried with multiple YouTubers. Like Everyman Has a Story, Sharon Lapalapu. Sunshine Shoulders helped me out and gave me a boost in the beginning. So that I was gracious of him. There's been a couple other people that I've reached out to that are pretty well known that are here in Cebu, and they either didn't respond or they just told me they weren't interested. So, if I was doing something that either seemed like it might blow up or was growing at a fast pace, then they'd be more into collaboration. But yeah, so far no good. Yeah, I don't know what was up with whatever his name is, Mark or something. I I've heard a lot of conflicting stories about it, but you know, I don't want to talk poop about him, but I wasn't impressed. Not impressed with that. But yeah, it'd be cool if I could network. But I mean, look at what I do. You know, uh, I'm just not. I'm not appealing enough, and there's not enough potential for them to get the views from my presence. So it's harder to break down that wall. And then too, you know, I made that video about Jasper, and a lot of people really like him. Um, and so, you know, some of these bigger people that really, you know, they don't have a problem with him. So that kind of put up some stumbling blocks as well. So whatever, I don't care. I do what I do, and if it resonates with people, great. If not, oh well. I'm not going to stop. It'll suck if I have to go back. Then there'll be like this weird kind of gap. I'll still try to vlog, but who wants to vlog? You know, see somebody vlogging from the States about the Philippines. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some content and I'll fake it like World Zoom. He's faking it. For 2 months, he was pretending that he was still in the Philippines when he was actually in the United States. And then he slowly revealed that he was actually in the United States after he was like ignoring. I mean, so many people were asking him, "Are you in the United States?" And he just, you know, played it off. No, I'm not in the United States. Or he wouldn't answer. And now he admits that he's in the United States, and he makes the videos from the same spot. So the whole time he was making the videos from somewhere in the United States, and he was just ignoring the fact that he was there. So, oh, I had some dude email me about him too. I guess he went as so far as to investigate his military background through like a Freedom of Information Act. And turns out that the guy was never even in the military. So, yeah, World Zoom is a train wreck. Is he in the USA for good? I have no idea. And he's such a con artist that you would never get the truth out of him. I really don't understand what people. I mean, if you don't know the backstory, then I guess you can glean things from him. But me, if somebody's being deceptive like that, it's off-putting to me, and I don't want to support people that are being dishonest. But whatever. I'm not jealous of the dude. I mean, he's still growing, and people, you know, have been forgiving of him, but he's just not being honest. Like I can forgive anybody for doing things, but if he's still being a fake, then, you know, I'm not down with it. But yeah, he's not in prison. He's in the States. That's prison enough for some people, especially after he's tasted the good life. And he can't come back. There's rumors that he got blacklisted from here, but I don't know if that's true. I have no idea, honestly, but I've heard those rumors that he got blacklisted and sent out of the country. It was all real weird how he just up and left, and then he denied that he was in the States, and he's filming behind him, like, you know, right behind him or whatever is a big fat grandfather clock and all these kind of like American type decor that you would never see in the Philippines. And people were asking him, especially when all that controversy was going on, "Are you in the States? Are you in the States?" And they would joke like, "You're in the States, look at the clock behind you," and stuff like that. And he would just kind of ignore it. And then after 2 months, like I said, he revealed that he was back in the States now, but he made it like he just got there. When people don't even connect the dots that for the last 2 months of his videos, he was already there. So, off-putting. I know I need like a song. So here's the deal. We need Elvis to compose us a little ditty about Philippines extremes. A little ditty about Philippines extremes. Can you get blacklisted going there? Oh, sure. They blacklist people for all kinds of things. I made that video just recently about a guy who got blacklisted when he was at Manila Customs. He forgot to click. Well, it's on that video that I just posted 2 or 3 days ago, or however long. But he had said something bad on his e-travel pass, or no, he didn't fill it out. He got irritated that they asked him to fill it out, was rude and belligerent, and then when he did, they allowed him to fill it out on his phone, and when he did, he put a bunch of like misinformation and rude feedback. So they barred him from entering the country and blacklisted him. You can get blacklisted for, saying the wrong things online. That's why, vloggers need to be careful, and that's why you don't talk about politics. Never ever talk about politics online. It can backfire on you for sure. Then there's other things too. I made a cool video about this dude that got busted in Cebu last Tuesday, and I got all the footage, from the arrest and the raid. They raided him. They raided his apartment, and I made the video. But as I was making it, I'm like, can this get me in trouble? Using the police footage or whatever, because I got it off they uploaded a video onto Facebook, and so I took clips from it, and then I did talk over on it and saying my opinion, kind of like a what do you call it? A review? No, I forget what it's called. But so I would show a clip and then I would talk about the clip. But then I thought this might get me in trouble. But I went ahead and uploaded it, and it was up for about 7 minutes. And the whole time I was like, man, I could get in trouble for that. I don't know if I could. But I took it down immediately. But it was a good video. It was about this dude in Cebu who was growing weed. And a 75-year-old dude was growing weed in Cebu City here, and he got caught. He had 3 plants in a grow tent, 3 mom plants, which are the mothers. You take cuttings off of them and you make the babies. And he had 10 little baby plants, and he had some dried consumable. And he got caught and is now sitting his butt in jail, in which he'll be there for the rest of his life. He's 75, for Pete's sake. So he's either they have compassion on him and they just deport him eventually, but if not, he's going to be sitting in jail until he passes. Man, there's a lot of funky vloggers, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, Philippines prison is not where you want to be in your last days, that's for sure. Although there's this one famous ex-vlogger, Barry Jordan, who's sitting in prison right now as we speak for pulling a knife on a bartender who wanted him to pay for his tab, and he refused, so he pulled a knife on him. And then it turned out he was overstaying too. But he's sitting in a Filipino prison right now. And what's that guy's name? The guy, Ricky Drama. I'm tired. I can't remember. Big Shot Travel, the dude that's come on here a couple times. Big Shot Travel went and visited him in jail, and showed that the cell door, the inmate can open Barry Jordan can open up his cell door and walk out into the main thing, um, and he can smoke, at his will. People can bring him things, and he's sitting kind of in that kind of situation. But if he gets sentenced, which can take 2, 3, 4, 5 years, once he gets sentenced, he'll be pushed out of that environment into the actual real Filipino prison, which is deplorable. I mean, you're talking shoulder to shoulder, sleeping on concrete floor with no blanket and all the dirt and yuck and funk and everything. So you don't want to end up in Filipino prison at all. You don't want to end up in prison anywhere. But as a foreigner, you don't want to end up in prison here. That's for sure. Like Paul says, it's a terrible retirement plan. I gotta stand up. It's so hot in here, you guys, that if you don't mind, I'm going to do that, go out on the balcony thing and get a little fresh air. I have this really cool balcony that gets a fantastic breeze, and I like the contrast of it. So I'm going to go out there for a few, just to get a little breather. We're in hour 50 minutes of this, but Lily, I think, has already fallen asleep. But I'll stay on for a little bit longer and chit chat with the fellas. You want to come outside, kitty? Oh yeah, I can feel the breeze. Hey, you want to come outside, Goldie? Come on. Why don't you go pee? Oh, there's my little stray cat. Hi, kitty. Hi. I think I have some chicken bones for you. I can give you some chicken. I'll wait till later if you stick around. In Sweden, the prison is nice. I'll be sure that if I ever do any international crimes, I'll be in Sweden when I do them. You're gonna go to Sweden prison if your pension's too small. Hey, good to have a plan B, right? That's a good plan B. Oh, hi, kitty. Hi. This cat that's stray here, I think it was owned by somebody. And Goldie, get out of there. My dog likes to try to eat the neighbor's garbage. If I don't stay on top of her, she'll string it all over the place. Okay, kitty. But anyways, this little kitty rubs against my legs, and like cats do. But then if I don't respond to it, it'll bite me, and it doesn't bite me nice. It bites hard. Like it bit me so that, hey, chill out. It bit me so hard that I was bleeding one day. A midnight rooster, yep. And there's also a dog that seems to be in turmoil. Usually it's pretty quiet, but we got a couple of roosters and a crazy dog. Kitty, I wish you weren't here. This was a bad idea. Let me see if I can feed your cat more squid so he's nice to you. Dude, this cat eats like a king, man. I give it chicken, and every time I make fish, I give it the fish heads, the tail, and the liver, and the heart, and the guts, and the gills, and everything. But it's nice to me, but you know how cats, like, they give you those love bites? Well, this dude doesn't, have any filter, so when he bites with love, but it, like, sends electricity through him, and he goes, but it's a cool cat. Somebody must have owned it before because it's not timid. No, she doesn't eat the fish heads. Let me see if I can see this cat. Oh, it's pretty dark. Here. You want to be famous, kitty? It made an appearance on my day 6 of my budget video. That's the one. Am I vaccinated against rabies? Nope. Definitely not. But a lot of people, I mentioned that on my group, and people were like, you need to go get vaccinated immediately. And I'm like, well, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's really healthy. So somebody was feeding it for, a while, and I can pet it. That's what I was saying. A lot of the stray cats, are real timid and they won't come up to you. But this one definitely has been owned by someone before. In fact, it could be very possible that it's still owned by someone, but it just knows that it can get good food here. Because I buy these little Friskies packs of cat food. It's like wet food in a pouch, and when it gets that, it loves it. So it knows where the good food is. Yeah, and cats do that overstimulated kind of bite mechanism when you pet them too much and whatnot. But take a shot just in case. This was like 3 months ago, and the cat is still alive. And if it had rabies, it would be dead by now. They get that aversion to water. And so, I'd been feeding the cat for months and observed it several days in advance of the bite, and it had no problem eating or drinking. So when it bit me, I did have that thought like, oh, rabies or whatever. I know it's here in the Philippines, but, I took the risk and I'm fine. It's fine. So, ain't got no ribbies. Cats are drama queens, right? But I love cats. Cats are cool. And this dude here, it's a male. But he's living the good life. He's getting the benefits of knowing the Kano. He gets all the good stuff. I have anything that I have. It smells it. It knows when we're cooking. So it'll come up and I'll hear it come to the door. And if I open this door, it would walk in the house and lay down too. But my dog chases it around and it turns into even more of a zoo. And it's already enough with my cat and my dog fighting around. But this one's cool. I didn't name it. Nolan Maxwell, drama queen. Yeah, for sure. But, that's my dog. Yeah, you're on film, Goldie. My dog's named after gold because I love gold mining, so I called it Goldie. But one thing about owning pets here, man, is the ticks. Like I can take the dog for a short walk to the Sorry store, which is literally like 5-minute round trip, and I'll come back and pick 20 ticks off of her. It's nuts. It had a Manx. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've seen some of that on YouTube. People owning exotic cats. Do I like Filipino food? I eat Filipino food, yeah. I go to the Carinderia in my barangay, and I eat pretty much everything that they serve. I don't like stuff that has blood in it though, so I won't eat the chicken blood kind of meals or the pig blood, pork blood, stuff like that. My wife is basically asleep. Ube? Sure, I eat ube. Lyme's disease? Yeah, it's carried in the ticks here. So that's definitely something that can be a factor too. But you know, I lived in Eastern Oregon, and it was the same thing there. Whenever I took my dog out panning, you know, there's so many deer that they would come back with deer ticks all over. So I'm a little bit familiar with that, with the with those issues. You love those Maine Coons? Yeah, those are pretty cool. Huge cats, man. Um, Ube reminds you of cinnamon. Uh, Different kind of like ube ice cream, then the ube in the breads. Then they have the ube cookies. Those are good. But see, even the cat's not even afraid of my dog anymore. They're not friends or anything, but they tolerate or the cat tolerates the dog. The dog just wants to chase the cat. But my neighbor must have had some food out because the dog's just fixated on sniffing. You don't like ube? Well, yeah. There's things that I don't like too, like we were saying, dried fish and other things. So, Scottish fold are super cute. I don't know what those ones off the top of my head. Yeah, lots of ticks, man. There's so many goats here. We're kind of like you can't see it in the dark, but maybe you've seen it in my videos. There's just this huge field back behind my apartment, and the goats just graze back there constantly. Come on, Goldie. Want some food? Get some food. Want a treat? Uh-oh. Now we got a zoo going. Yeah. My little Filipino kitty. No. Come here. Come here. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. You want it? Come on. You want some? Here you go. See here. Where's my... There's the little cat foods. Oh, it's Whiskas. Tagalog? No, not much. Konti long means very little. You want some? Come on. Come on. Okay, got the dog back in. Okay, come on, kitty. Come on. Sorry, technical difficulties. I gotta get this cat out of here. Come on. It'll hang out and I'll give it, yeah, it wants the Whiskas. But I can't feed it one-handed because I gotta open it, so I'll feed it later. Breed of cats that have folded. Oh, yeah, those are cute. I know what you mean now. Oh. Yeah, I tricked you, Goldie. I'm not giving you any Whiskas. I tricked you, sucker. Yeah. Dogs have owners and cats have servants. Fly the drone? I don't know. I'll probably wreck it. I'm not sure if it's ready to go or not. Here, open it. Fool's Goldie. Good one. I fool's Goldie you, Goldie. That's funny. Iron pyrited you. Eduardo is right. Indeed. Let's see here. How do you open this? The dog thinks it's some kind of treat. Oh, it looks pretty complicated. A lot of attachments. Chickens will help with ticks. Are guineas or partridge available there? I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what breed they have. This is the dude, soon to be crashing into my walls and whatnot. I can't fly it over that field because if it crashes out there, I won't be able to get it. Let's see here. I know they like, a certain kind of chicken here, the ones that they can fight, those dudes. Oh, I need a screwdriver to open it. Phillips. Maybe I can open it with my knife. I don't have any tools. There we go. Renting a house? I have no plans. No plans for nothing, man. Whatever comes, comes. I got a good buddy that I made friends with when I was with my ex, and he owns 2 houses here in Cebu. But they're out of the city. They're up in the mountains and stuff. So he's asked me if I wanted to rent one from him, and the price for it is pretty sweet, because it's kind of like a friend deal. And it's just sitting vacant. But, unless I had transportation, I wouldn't want to do it. So right now, I'm not doing it, but... But, down the line, I'm not going to live in this apartment forever, that's for sure. My friend lives, a lot cooler in the mountains. I have a friend who's based out of Seattle, and he's developing a company right now. How many bedrooms in my friend's place? Oh gosh, I think it's 3 bedrooms. His wife his wife hired the architect and designed the house herself to her specifications, and then the architect built it out for them. He's retired. He's like 78, but he lived in the Philippines his whole life. So it's a sound building. I think it's even for sale. But I have pictures of it, I think, on my Viber. He sent me pictures. I can't open this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, it takes batteries, and I don't have any batteries. So, sorry, folks. I'm not going to be testing the drone for you. It's too bad it doesn't have like a rechargeable kind of thing. But yeah, so he would want to rent it to me, but it's too far away from me right now. No, This was given to me by one of my subscribers. Yeah, I didn't buy it. It was given to me. So, awesome. Really, really cool gesture. Very, very thankful for that. Pretty awesome. Yeah, very, very nice. Very gracious. Definitely was not expecting that. Very kind. So, once I get some batteries for it, I'll test it out. That'd be cool. I forget the name of the town that it's in. It's in Cebu, but it's up, in the mountains up there. It's about an hour outside of Cebu City. So, if you got a transportation, it's ideal because it's all gated, modernized, It has a regular kitchen, but then outside it has a barbecue area where you can make your own barbecue and sit out in the patio and stuff, It's pretty cool. Yeah, Eduardo lives over that way, I think. This place, this apartment, yeah, it's gated. So that's cool. Yeah, the dirty kitchen area is it's actually nice, They got it all tiled and everything. Really nice setup. It's 2-story. It's got an upstairs, downstairs. Temple of Leah had cooler weather, huh? Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to areas in Mindanao. It has one key element that is attractive to me. The weather is not it, but mostly I'm setting my sights on Masbate, but Mindanao is also a place that I would consider too, just because of its resource. I'm not afraid of, the terrorists or whatever people say. I'm not much afraid of that. I mean, I used to mine in Alaska, and grizzly bears would walk through my camp every night, Of course, I had a shotgun and a big fat handgun, but one of the only white people. Yeah, that's no problem for me either. I don't mind that. When I was here 10 years ago, I lived in Luzon in an area where I was one of the only ones. There was another guy that come there and stay half the year, but he was older. And of course, 10 years ago, I was 10 years younger. So I was still considered, everybody would say, oh, you're so young, to be coming to the Philippines. I was 39. But it was cool to be, the only dude. I literally had people taking selfies with me, old ladies coming up to me and wanting to have me take their picture with me, and yeah, it was a big ego boost. It gave me a whole new outlook on life. You go from the States and you're just anonymous, and then you come over here and people are so excited, and animated to associate with you and have an interaction with you. It's refreshing. So, and that time in my life, I really kind of needed that boost. Need big coconuts in Mindanao. Yeah, Elvis been to Mindanao. My wife's from Mindanao, Iligan area. But she didn't have a good experience there because she lived right near the terrorists in the heart of when they were warring with the government. So her experience was pretty scary and negative. So, but a lot of that has died down now, from what I hear. And I know people that live there too, right now, and not just in Davao, which is the safest place in the Philippines. They actually live in areas that are deemed unsafe, and they have no problem. But of course, that's no guarantee that you wouldn't have a problem either. You stumble across the wrong situation, I suppose, but that can happen anywhere, right? I mean, when you come to the Philippines, even if you go into a regular place, you have to have some balls no matter what, right? Already, because not everybody has the guts to do this. Not everybody has the guts to leave their country that they've lived in their whole life and go try to make a new life in another land. So even people that go, and live in a posh condo in Manila, for example, they're taking a big leap, a leap that a lot of people do not have the guts to take. So, yeah. What's it like being in the Philippines? Bob asks. Well, I think, you get a better sense if you watch some of especially my earlier videos where I talk about the differences of living in the Philippines. But living in the Philippines has myriad advantages if you have the right mindset. I don't know where you are from, Bob, but if you're from the United States, you're inundated with all that political nonsense and all the crazy. No, I'm answering you. One of the biggest things about living in the Philippines. Oh, you're from Australia? Right on. Okay, then this will probably apply to you, especially when Australia was going through their COVID stuff. Just all the political stuff that is bombarding everybody right now, especially back then, just doesn't exist here. I mean, you can still get the information if you source it out for yourself. If you go on your CNN and you want to glean that kind of information and stay in, continue to funnel that stuff into your brain, then it won't go away. But if you take a step back and don't pay attention to all that world nonsense that's going on, all of that stuff erodes, and you realize how heavy of a burden that put on your mind and your mood, your attitude, and sometimes even your health. You just don't feel that here. And when you come here, Bob, you will notice immediately how people respond to you in such a contrasting way from your home country. In your home country, people are less friendly. They don't engage you as much. Like I said just a few moments ago, you become kind of an anonymous, especially if you're older guy. You kind of age out, and people just don't treat you the same, and you become like that fly on the wall. But over here, if you engage with people, they'll be more than happy to engage with you, and they're extremely friendly, and that just lifts your spirits. It makes you feel connected. It changes a lot of the feelings that you glean from living in anonymity. It's just an uplifting kind of atmosphere, and everybody feels it when they come here. I mean, they can feel it like as soon as they walk into the airport. They notice it. Um, they notice the change almost immediately. And it's not just me, it's not just the people I've met. If you listen to other people talk about it, they'll say the exact same thing. So it's very, very true. So Fishy Boy Gaming says hi, hello. Hello, Fishy Boy Gaming. Eduardo is trying to avoid ants, rats, stray cats coming anywhere close to the house when he barbecues. Well, good luck with that, bro. I've lived in Guam, right? I lived in Guam, and I have friends there and stuff. And they, built their houses or whatever, or they bought like really posh kind of houses on the ocean. And I don't know, ants are just they're gonna find you, man. And of course, the stray cats, they're gonna find you too when they smell that stuff. But you can try, of course. I'm not trying to discourage you or say it's impossible. Well, Bob, I hope that you do come to the Philippines. It'll change your life, like I always tell everybody. It's hard to explain, but come here for just a 2-week trip or a 1-week trip, and you will notice so many differences, and it'll change your life. It really, really will. And I don't know if you're romantically involved with anybody where you're at, but if you're an older person, coming here will open up that avenue for you again. Age isn't really the stigma that it is where you're from, so you will have more options here, and it'll free up everything. It'll give you a whole new lease on life. Whoa, you're booking tickets right now? Awesome. Well, hopefully you do come here, and you will experience exactly what I and many, many others have experienced for yourself, because it'll be amazing for you. So, and if you want to stroll through Cebu, I'd love to, hang out, whatever. Like I'm here for that. So if you ever wanted to come through Cebu and pick my brain or whatever, I'm available and open for that. So it feels great. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure most people that are on here right now can say the same, and they can confirm what I'm telling you. It's an enlightening and uplifting and life-changing experience. It'll recharge your batteries, even if it's just a temporary trip. But be forewarned, you come here and then you go back, you're going to be hooked, and you're going to want to come back here even more. Woo. And people say they get homesick, but once you've come here and you go back to the States, you'll get Philippines sick because you'll want to return. So if it's your goal to like retire here or something, you definitely should shoot for that. I recommend it to anyone and everyone. I think even women should do it, And I am seeing more and more women coming to the Philippines. 10 years ago, not so much, but I was just leaving a hotel tonight, and there was a woman checking into the hotel where my friend was, and she was from South Africa. And you didn't ever see that before, but now you see it more and more frequently, especially if you're in Cebu City, Ayala or something. There's foreigner ladies there. You can count them. There's so many. It's not just one or the random one. There's many, many. So, and I talked to her briefly. She was really friendly. She loved it. She'd been here for a couple days. Yeah, I hope you get here soon. Mr. Bob, because you will love it here. Where would you go if you came here? What area would you go to? But yeah, this lady from South Africa, she'd been to Mobile, and she was going, I think she said Bohol next or something. Yep, stay humble and be kind. Marikina? I don't know anything about that, or not really sure I even know where it is. I'm not sure if I've heard about it. But there's 7,000 islands here, of course, so I don't know everything. I don't know every place. But for sure. Oh, well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, one thing that, I encourage and I love is if people make comments and ask questions, and I will be glad to disseminate any information. It gives me something to do. I like to try to help people too, so feel free to ask any questions. No question is stupid. I won't badmouth you or belittle you for asking simple questions that you would think most people would know. There's no stupid question. You're trying to get information, and that's what I'm trying to provide to people is information. So feel free to ask questions on the videos, and I reply to everyone. The YouTube algorithm is kind of weird. Sometimes I'll be scrolling through an old video and I'll notice a comment that I didn't ever even see. I never got an alert for it. But when I see those, I reply to them immediately, But yeah, I'm very engaging on people's comments. And I won't just give like a one-word answer. I will actually answer your question. So Bob says he just packed his bags. Okay, Bob. Well, now I get you. So, dude, you spent $20 on a chicken sandwich? That's crazy. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? All right. Man, I just bought a chicken sandwich meal like 2 weeks ago from McDo-Don't for $5, I think. It's crazy. I'm not so sure if Bob's being serious. I mean, he ordered his tickets and he's gonna pack his bags, but whatever. It's up to you, Bob. We are giving you the true nitty gritty, and if you did want to change your life, this is a place to do it. You can get a new lease on life here. So. I'm not even going to respond to that next question. I know I said I comment on everything, but this isn't a video. This is a stream. So I'm going to ignore that because it's obviously not legit. This tends to happen towards the end of it. I think the longer you stay on, the more they come out of the woodwork. Yeah, Paul agrees. I mean, I'm sure he knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's just 100% true. It's an amazing place. And I just think, and a lot of it has to do with where we come from and what we're experiencing there. And none of that really exists here. And you notice it immediately. It's palatable. Like you can apply the lyrics to What a Wonderful World to the Philippines, you know, smiling faces of the people passing by, you know. Think about it. You're making, you know, $2 or $3 a day, but you're still like joking, laughing, happy, and trying to get as much enjoyment out of your life. So Bob would fall in love 20 or 30 times a day. Yeah. I think Bob's kind of yanking our chain a little bit. Yeah, we're nearing the full moon. Maybe this the length of it attracts it. Bob's with the woman right now. Right now, even. I ain't cheating. Well, at least you got some good morals going in that regard. So, Mr. Bob, would you be coming with your significant other then? You two coming here? Why did I even ask that? I don't know. Whoa, 11. We got 11, folks. I need a horn. What about Bob? Yeah, right. It's turning into the Bob show. We made it 2 hours and 32 minutes. That's pretty good. A cup of mac and cheese, $6. Crazy. What's the Philippines dollar? They do peso. It's peso here. And they don't have a bill for it. They just have a coin. The 1 peso. Peso. Good morning, Mr. Jean-Paul. What are you doing up so late? 5 peso. 10 peso. Mosquito. How you doing, Jean-Paul? We got another Paul in here, so same meal in Phil's, $4. Yeah, it's crazy. Calm down, Bobby boy. Rein it in. Rein it in, my brother. Get some rest. Well, you take your own advice, sir. That's for sure. Me, I don't have, any big plans, so I can sleep, anytime. You just got back from the province? Gotcha. Late drive home. S&M Mall. That's where I bought my gimbal. S&M Mall. Yeah. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff there. And that's where we took the, what is it called? Vihara, the van, to go up to Tap Tap to visit Lili's family. The S&M Mall has a good selection of everything. I agree. Is it true what they say about mountain girls? What did they say about them mountain girls? I've heard a lot. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. My wife was imported. Okay, Martin. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and being engaging. Appreciate your presence as always. Hope you have a good week. Hopefully we'll see you next Saturday night for number 5 of the Saturday Night Live. Eduardo's been on that ride. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, up in there, and they were doing construction at the time too, so it was going a little bit slower, so I could really see everything. It was nice. Do the houses in the Philippines look good? I don't know. I guess that's a matter of opinion. Some look good, some don't. Same as anywhere that you live. Some look good and some don't. But I tell you, your money goes a lot farther here, so you can get more for your money. So for sure, if you wanted to spend $200,000 on a house here, like you would in the States, and houses are even more than that in a lot of areas now, you would get something super duper duper nice for that. Don't eat that. No. Crayon. Houses. Great for the price. Houses. Yeah, houses. I'm talking about houses. More bang for your buck on a house. I mean, I've seen things for like $20K US that I would buy. Not as spacious as something more expensive, of course, but better than this apartment. But, you know, just not in the area that I would want to live. You can buy a car for like $5 US. The last car I bought was actually $10, but I fixed it up and I sold it for $50. Boathouses. Nah, not really. I haven't seen anything. I've seen like fishing shed kind of things that they build up, and they'll hang out in those things. Yeah. I mean, if you're lucky and you're good at bartering, you might be able to get one for like $2. Can you imagine buying a Honda for like $2? I guess I shouldn't encourage it, but whatever. Wah, 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 wah. All right, folks. We're staying steady at 10, up, drop down to 9. When we see 15 people in here, I owe you all McDonald's when you come. I'll buy you that $5 meal instead of the $20 meal that Elvis is spending. But I think that 15 won't come until we get more consecutive live streams. How much does beds in the Philippines cost? Oh, like 50 cents. Free McDonald's, of course. I know that you would be down for that. Free McDo don't. Free McDonald's. McDaniels, not McDonald's. These rhymes are Daryl's, but the burgers are Ronald's. I'm loving it. Yeah. Yeah, and Ronald McDonald will even come to your house and deliver through Grab Taxi. It's like DoorDash. So, they do everything different here. So you got some contrasting opinions, but if you got serious and you did come and experience yourself, then you'd have your own opinion and you wouldn't be relying on other people. Ronald got canceled in the US. Figures. Everybody's getting canceled over there. He's such a clown. All that clowning around. I got canceled in the US myself. More of a hamburglar. Yeah, me too. I'm more of I'm more of a grimace. I'm the ube one. Jollibee, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of Filipino there. I had family friends that were nurses in New York, and also San Francisco too. Jollibee is a fast food restaurant that is popular in the Philippines. The most popular fast food restaurant in the Philippines. They do have some Jollibees in New York, San Francisco. I think there's one in Texas. So instead of a clown, they have a big mascot that's a bee. Yeah, doesn't look like a bee. Yeah, there's a Jollibee there too in the north. Yeah, Jollibees they're pollinating the whole United States now, just because there's such a growing Filipino community. But I guarantee you that if they want to if they really wanted to be all over the states, they'd need to evolve to more American type stuff, like the McDonald's have had to evolve to more Philippine stuff here. I mean, they're smart about their locations. They go, Love it for Sting. They open up their locations where there is a big Filipino population. But if they wanted to have a Jollibee in every town, they'd struggle unless they evolved. And I don't know, did more American style stuff. Chicken Inasal. You said Mang Inasal, but it's Chicken Inasal. Manok. Chicken Joy. Oh my goodness. I stopped tonight on my way home and I bought some chicken joy. I had some leftover pizza. But I also got some chicken joy for Miss Pregnant. And it's funny, I brought the pizza home and I ate a piece of it and she's like, hey, didn't you say that was for me? And I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to eat 4 pieces, are you? I got you chicken too. And so she tore through the pizza and had some chicken joy too. So, she's got quite the appetite going. I'm driving in a semi. Yeah, I'm going to be ending it here pretty soon anyways. We're 2 hours, 45 minutes. I'll keep it going for a little bit while longer, but I got to get some rest. So, no sweat, Mr. Elvis. Philippines, I don't know what time it is. It's 1:29 in the Philippines. AM. I come on like this for my subscribers that are living in America because of the time difference. Because there it is Saturday morning. Smash the like button. What's damning? Damning. That's not too late, man. It's Saturday. Where am I from? Well, like when the Filipinos ask me where I'm from, I always tell them Jupiter, just so I can get them to laugh. But I'm from the Northwest. Born and raised. Jamaican patties? I don't know about those. Sounds good. Antifa headquarters. That's right. It's all turned to pot there. Or the pot has turned it to pot, maybe. Burger King. I had the Burger King when I landed in Cebu in last January. I was just mostly curious to see, what the difference was. Pot turned to meth. Yeah, and that fentanyl too. In Aberdeen, the fentanyl was just huge. Almost like a pandemic, Everybody on the street corners just zombified, like. Doing that kind of crap on every corner. It's really shocking to see. Later, Bobo. Have a good one. Adios. All right, folks. I'm probably gonna take off now too. I mean, Bob's leaving, so what else is there, right? So, thanks, Eduardo. My pillow's calling me too. I don't know if you see my eyes are getting really red. Jared, peace. Thank you for stopping by as usual. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul, for your engagement and your contribution. I appreciate it. Really, really glad that you stopped by. Now you go get some sleep and rest up. So, everybody, consider coming back next week. Consider checking out my stupid videos and giving them a thumbs up. That helps. And everybody have a blessed week. Stay kind and remember to try to help somebody out if you notice anybody in need and you have the ability to do so. So take care, everybody. I'm out of here. Thanks a lot. Peace out.